myself. Thank you so much for joining me, Denise. I've been so excited for you to be here this afternoon because, do you know what? When I describe you, Denise, I'm like, you are just a heart of gold. And I feel like you're wearing gold today. And it just encompasses you, your personality, and how just amazing you are. So I'm really excited to get into your story of leaving your business and leaving your job, not leaving the business, leaving your job and starting and building your business to become fully booked, and then change your working pattern to be on your terms. So welcome to the Spotlight session, Denise.
Thank you.
Do you want to first start off by talking about what it is that you do and who it is you help, just so that we can give a bit of background?
Right, well, I've changed things that I do all the time, but in a nutshell, I'm an OBM. I'm training to be a DOO, which is Director of Operations, and I help business owners overcome their stress and everything that goes with running a business and trying to do it all themselves, and help them strategize and look at where they want to be. And at the moment I'm implementing that and getting it all going for them. So just taking away that pressure and put it on me.
Well, putting on you.
Yeah.
And of course, this role, as you know, I am such an advocate for having people in your business. No, I'm being serious.
Oh yeah, no, I thought you were saying.
Yeah, no, on a positive front. I'm not going to go on my. I'm not going to go on my freelancer versus in-house role. That wouldn't be fair. But I'm such an advocate for people bringing support into their business, and people like you who can just be that right-hand person to take the pressure, take the tasks, take some of the thinking, and try and be one step ahead of your business owners. And of course, you had a real background in people, in management. And so do you want to just say a little bit about where you were before you and I started working together, like what your situation was and what your dream was, I suppose?
Yeah, so I've done so many things. I'm sort of a bit of a jack of all trades, I suppose, and never really knew where I fitted in, but I could always put my hand to most things. So whenever I'd start in an office or anywhere else, I'd start off sort of as an admin and going from there. And then because I was always one of those people who went and researched and did things and found things out and all of that, I always sort of moved up. And that's where I love doing. I love researching. I love finding out what people need, and just going in there and sort of, right, okay, well, we can do this and we can do that. And then getting it all together and coming up with a project and projects and things like that. Just quite sad, I'm a bit of a nerd, and I will sort of go out and do the tech and everything else. And I just really, probably tell, I can really enjoy it. And other people go, oh God, step away, I don't want to do that. And whereas I would be in there. And so I'd sort of go from, as I say, admin assistant or bookkeeper into office manager and then into project management and doing all of those sort of roles, and never still really settling. It was never really what I wanted to do, working for people that I felt didn't appreciate all the time. Some did and some obviously didn't, and then you just feel that you need to sort of step away and do something else. And I've tried different businesses. Sorry,
I was going to say, you've been wanting to start your own business for a while.
Yeah, and I've tried other businesses. I had a cleaning business, I had a design business, and I've tried sort of many things, but I never really had the foundations for it. And being that sort of project person, I would get involved in all the nitty-gritty of the business and wouldn't go out and get any clients, so they never sort of worked. So I sort of always needed that person to do the other side of things for me. And understanding that, I think, has been key. Sort of just knowing where my strengths lie and doing your strengths finders, and even just doing the streamline with the SOPs and everything else, and actually having a system, whereas before my systems were many. I had to have bits and pieces for everything, and just streamlining it, and using your words, but streamlining it and having a system and just knowing where my strengths lie so that I can actually do what I love has been amazing. So great.
But I remember when you joined up to me, you've been doing lots of courses, you've been doing lots of learning, had like tipped your toe in other businesses, but you still had a paycheck. You still had that job. You still had that safety blanket. And how many weeks? And then we removed the safety blanket. I can't remember. It was,
oh, goodness, was it? I sort of made the decision and I said, right, 2nd of February. And it was sort of set. I think it was the 2nd. I should have that. I've got it written down. I'm sure it was the 2nd. And I said, that's it. I'm handing in my notice then. And I did. It was literally on the day that I said, and I think it was 6 weeks, wasn't it, from when I made that decision. I know it was at the beginning of the year. It might have been less than that, actually. I think it was less than that. Yeah.
But from the work you did, you managed to secure clients, so it wasn't like you were going. I talk about the taps, turning one tap on as you turn the other tap off, whichever way around they are. I got my left and right, but you know what I mean. Like, it wasn't like you were going to the abyss of no income. You had a plan.
Yeah, I'd sort of said, right, okay, I'm going to do it, and I think I was quite determined this time. And other times I've said, I want to pack up work, and it was always I want to, but I was going to this time, and literally 3 clients, boom, and it was putting it out there, I think, as well, and just knowing what I wanted. It was brilliant. It was so good.
And so tell us, what's life like now in comparison?
Oh,
you've got a lot going on. You're a hectic grandmother. You're moving. You're selling houses. You're doing.
Yes.
Would that have been possible with the job?
No, because I've literally. I'm still earning as much as I was when I was working with one client and project work that I'm doing at the moment. I've got some projects ongoing, but I've let go of 2 of the retainers, and I'm still earning enough to live, but my time is my own. I've been, as you know, decorating and selling, and it went on the market yesterday. Well, the photos were taken, it's going on there today. So my house is going on sale. I couldn't have done that. I mean, the work that's gone into there, I've just been mad. I'm doing another course, which well, we won't go there, but that's quite full on. I've sort of stepped back from that for the last couple of weeks, but my time is my own. I still do what I need to for my clients. I make sure that they're looked after. But Fridays, for instance, I don't work now at all Fridays, unless I want to, because I do like to pop on and do a few things. But I go out with my daughter, or I go and have lunch with my friends. It's things I just never did before, because weekends was all we had, and we'd cram everything in, and it was like not nice cramming everything in. It was everything we couldn't do during the week, so it was like bits and pieces here, and ironing and cleaning and all the things you don't want to do, but which I now delegate a lot of, which is great.
So obviously, you and I have worked in Time to Lead, and it was, whilst you didn't necessarily have a validated business at that point, you were very short on time. And so that's the reason why we came into our world. I've actually got a business startup course now, one of the inspirations from you around how do you get a streamlined startup, but we won't go into that. So talk to me about like what drew you to Time to Lead, and like what you've got from the program.
Well, I mean, I've been following you for quite a while. Literally from Streamline Success, and seeing what you've done for other people, and being in the Leader's Way, and just sort of watching. And I think you know somebody when you watch them. There's people that I trust them, and you sort of like listen and you learn more, and that trust is what drew me in. And then when I saw it offered, I thought, I need this, I need that structure, I need that. I want to grow my business, but I want to grow it in a structured way, because I'm all about structure, and as you know, that's how I work, so it's perfect for me. And I didn't want to, I think because I've had failed businesses before, I wanted that encouragement and support and everything that goes with it, and I'd seen that, so I thought this is perfect. And when I signed up, and it was everything that I thought it was and more. It just, I know it sounds, I don't want to sort of, just because we're talking, but it really was the people in the group. I mean, I work with Kirsty now, who's in our group. She's just lovely. There's just made so many friends in there, actually. And, you know, the support that everybody gives each other anyway in the group, but you answer everybody's questions, the calls that we have, you know, you things that I would never think of that you come up with as answers, you know, to a simple, I can't think of an example right now, but you just sort of say, well, why don't you do this? Because you could do, you know, or outsource it. And then you see the people's success. Amazing. I mean, they're just going from strength to strength, and you just think, well, if they can do it, I can do it. Because at first you think, oh, I'll never be like that. But it's actually because you're watching them from nothing, you actually realize you can do it, because it's not what people know so much. It's the way you can do things, and it's just, yes, so much support. It's amazing.
And I want to say thank you so much for those kind
That's
words.
Right.
But I just want to say that, but look at you, Denise. You know, at the start of this year, you were employed in a job you didn't like, with a dream, with an aspiration, but actually no time to make it happen.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel privileged that you've trusted me and you came on board and you did the work. You know, you're an action taker, and that's why I adore working with you. And those are the people that get results.
Yeah.
But you also, you know, you've created a business and a life that can be your own, that has that full freedom that I talk about, the freedom to be able to have your no limit on your income capacity, the ability to manage your own time, the ability to choose how you work and choose how you structure your days and weeks. And I think that's so important. And what I adore about your role is you help me with the message of how to influence other business owners to bring in right-hand people into their business in the right way. So I feel like you and I are totally united in our working. And I think that's been part of the fun with working with you, is being, you know, I know what you're facing into with a lot of these business owners, and I've been, you know, to help with that. But where do you go from here? Because I know you and I have been talking about like what the future looks like, and now you kind of got lots of options open to you, because it's not just about staying in the director of operations role necessarily.
Yeah. So I'm no spring chicken. I'm not going to say I'm old, but I'm not, you know, I'm moving on in years, and I don't want to be working forever. So for me, it's about leaving something behind that I can still get an income from, because I don't want it to be just like work, where I work up to a time and then finish and then that's it. I've built this up and I don't really want it to go. So I'd like to build like an agency. I'm not sure how that's going to look yet, and that's something I know we're going to talk about at some point. But with people working for me and somebody overseeing, like a right-hand person, I'm not going to say Hannah.
Everyone's a Hannah.
I know I need a Hannah, but I need that right-hand person so that I can sort of step away more and have somebody managing it for me, but know also that my clients are being looked after, because I don't want to just pass it over to somebody else and it not be looked after. I want to set a standard, and I want to make sure that that's met, and that's the bottom line. So so that's what I'd like to do, and then just grow it from there, so I can sort of step back a little bit.
Yeah, I'm excited.
In my older years.
And really role model what you do for others in your own business as well. So completely, and I'm really excited to be talking, because we obviously continue working together, which is very exciting, and I get to help be part of that next venture and next stage, as it were. So what I'd love to hear, Denise, is what advice have you got for someone who is just at that point of like taking the leap? Either they're going full-time into their business, or they're taking that leap. Probably I think will be more interesting, because you are the right-hand person to so many people, or you have the ability to be. When people are like, oh, I'm nervous, like I still just want to control, do everything myself, I can't afford it, all this stuff, like what would you say to that person?
I think you've got to trust the people who are working for you to do the job, and whether that is for your own peace of mind, sort of looking in and making sure things are happening at first, because you know you never know if it's going to, but you want to make sure it's going right. But you have to trust them. You have to give that trust that they're going to do what you ask. and just make sure and just let them do it, because otherwise you'll always be that spider in the middle of the spider's web reaching out to everybody, and you can't. And as you grow, you can't control everything. You've got to have that trust. And if you've got good people working for you that can manage that for you and you trust them, you're set. You're just set on that, because then you know that they're going to look after the people below them once you know, as you grow. And yeah, let them worry.
I'm coining it the effort moment. I'm not going to swear on my personal profile as well, but the effort moment when people are like, oh, now or never, I've just got to do it. I've just got to free up time to work on my business, not in my business. And obviously that's what a lot of people come, like you did, into Time to Lead. Is there a piece of advice you would give someone who's sort of on the fence, thinking like, I'm scared, I'm worried about what this means, like the time to invest and financial investment? Is there any advice you give to someone who's on the fence for Time to Lead?
If you want to grow your business in the right way, there was no question for me. I had no money at the time as such. I was working full-time job because I needed the income, and every penny went out on all of our bills and everything else. You need the investment. I know, you know, we invest in so many things, and as you said at the beginning, I do courses because that's what I thought I needed. I did course for this and a course for that, and they were great in their, you know, they was great in their own ways, but to actually grow your business in the right structured way, and that's what we need, is something structured to give you direction and to have the I've forgotten the word, it's gone out of my head, but somebody not telling you what to do, because you don't do that, but you check in and you make sure, you know, and there's calls there where you can go and say, oh, I've had a really bad week this week, I just feel I'm not getting anywhere, and everybody encourages you to move on, or if you've got a question, you're there to answer it. And also and then to grow. It's not just about having a business and having the right structure in place, it's about how to, right, okay, I've got that now, what do I do next? And you take them to the next level after that as well. So it's the whole thing. And also looking time, everything about it, really. It's just, I can't recommend it enough. I know that's a bit gushy, but it is.
No, I mean, I'm sat here loving it, being like, I'm so glad I did it. But
it's just everything. It's the whole package. You don't just help people with a problem. You give them the whole package, and whether that's just starting out or whether that's growing and expanding, you do the whole thing. And I know all the other ladies in the group will say the same. So,
thank you for that. Now, how does someone contact you? If someone's like, oh, I need a Denise in my life, which I have done as well. I've hired Denise, like, I need a Denise in my life for this project. Help me, Denise. And she's amazing and ridiculously thoughtful. How does someone come and find you? What's the best way to connect?
So the best way to connect is probably Facebook. We're on Facebook, so it's probably the easiest way, through Messenger, through my Facebook page, Denise Fowler. Yeah, just find me. That's probably the best way. Or my website, Denise Fowler. That's me.
Wonderful. And any other parting comments or thoughts or anything you feel like you'd like to share today that we haven't been able to yet?
No, if anybody's starting out and they're still working and they feel like they're not going to be able to do this, you can do it. There is, you know, I worked full time. I looked after my grandson. I would do all sorts of things. I don't sit down. So I'm always doing something, but there's always time. You do find time, and you only need those few hours, couple of hours here and there. Don't spend 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there. Just block out a little bit of time, two hours at a time or something, to really concentrate on where you want to be and plan it out and just go for it. And then when you're ready, join Skye and she'll get you on the next step.
Wow. Yeah, now I've got a whole thing about when you want to start as well. So you can join me at any point, starting, max capacity, or expanding. I'm your lady. If you're too busy, come to me. That's what I just now say. Too busy.
Yeah, that's it.
Denise, honestly, I adore having you. You are a total dream to work for. I feel very envious for all of your clients, whether that's retainer clients or project clients. If you need something doing in your business, or you're looking for a right-hand person, I can't thoroughly recommend Denise. So please do get in touch with her. Thank you so much for your time today, Denise.
No
I'm going to let you get
problem.
back to house packing and changing and selling and doing everything else.
Getting everything sorted.
Yes, thank you so much. And I'm going to just finish on Facebook. Thanks so much for joining us today on our spotlight session, and I will see you next week.